Yo, what's up, couples, and welcome to Kissing Therapy Proper Counseling. Press the thumbs up, subscribe. If you don't, I'll come to your house and kiss you. Also, if you want that, shame on you. Shame on you. Okay? The last time that I played this game was almost 2 years ago, but we're going to continue our adventures with Sausage Boy. Rose had decided not to wear heavy clothes anymore. It was really hot for it to be this warm in the fall. Even so, she decided they were just too hot to wear. She needed some more hair. You know? Maybe you don't know. If you live in a hot country, maybe you know. You know, in those days that are really hot in the summer, and you just want to go outside, you don't even want to go outside. And if you go outside, you just want to go naked. She never wore skirts, but she felt like wearing more right now would be impossible. She'd kept her hair loose, trying to put it back up for a more professional look, kept causing her to have headaches. It was probably best to just leave it down. He also started taking to her work far more diligently than she did before. Can I know why you're going dressed like that? Rose had reorganized her files, tied her office, dusted and polished things up. It was only natural. She had to take pride in her work, but she also had to be an open source for comfort for the students. I'm trying to remember if I remember anything about this game. Amy was right. She did just need to lighten up a bit. It might be the only thing Amy had ever been right about, but credit where credit was due. She was right. Whoa, we're leaving? This is Amy, right? Amy strode into the room like she owned the place. Doesn't she though? Rose smiled as she walked in and gazed at her boss fondly. Everyone at the school just seemed more pleasant today. Teachers, students, even Amy.
Got a new file coming your way, Rose.
I knew this game had voice acting as well.
Oh good. Looks like the file came through. Thanks for sending it over.
Thanks for sending it over. Amy paused for a second, seeming to struggle with something she wanted to say.
The students have been talking to me some more. They've been telling me you've been doing much better recently.
The students have been telling me that? It shouldn't be the other way around?
The teachers and students all say you've been a lot more friendly.
Rose blushed. She'd never been a well-liked person, despite her wealth and beauty. She figured most people just couldn't respect her intelligence. She's one of those people that think they are so smart that they can talk to anyone else, right? Somehow this school seemed different now. Everyone was being so nice to her, and she just felt like being so nice back. She'd even started caring what students said when they talked to her about their problems. She hadn't really asked anyone about the drugs at all today.
Well, I've been showing them a little bit of proper respect.
Spanking them is the solution. She smiled again. The praise felt incredibly strange to her, but pleasant.
A proper counselor is respectful to her students and co-workers.
Well, Rose, I have my own duties to attend to. I hope you enjoy the next training video.
Of course I will, Vice President.
We're being brainwashed, right? I think I remember that as well. Amy paused at the door, turned around and gave Rose a long sweeping gaze. He started at her feet and grabbed her legs, to her hips, waist, and finally up to her breasts where it lingered. Please, Amy, that's indecent. Rose was startled. Was Amy checking her out? She opened her mouth in the beginning of a white-hot fury, ready to chew her out. She instead found herself licking her lips and swallowing her words. It wasn't professional of Amy, but it wouldn't be very respectful for her to chew out her boss. Even if it was something like this, it was really no big deal. She'd still get rid of her eventually. Bye. Amy swiftly exited the room.
Wait, what was I thinking? That was sexual harassment.
Exactly! I mean, she was just looking at us. Is that still harassment?
Creep.
She immediately slapped her hands over her mouth. I mean, that hard? Did you hear the sound of that slap? She cringed in horror at having said something so disrespectful about her superior.
Okay, sure, she checked me out. A few days ago, I have torn her head off.
But now I'm a good person.
I am pretty hot, though. Maybe she just couldn't help it. It's normal to be overwhelmed sometimes and slip.
Okay, chill down, Rose.
Yes, that must be it.
You're hot and smart. Perfect combination. Now shut up. The outburst left her feeling heated, and Rose wished that she'd dress a little lighter. Well, tomorrow you can dress a little bit lighter. She started unbuttoning her shirt. The cool hair against her skin felt wonderful and suited the discomfort immediately. It wasn't exactly professional of her, but she could fix it if anyone came knocking. It would be fine. I mean, if no one sees you, right? How can it be unprofessional? She put it out of her mind and opened up the next video. Despite how bored she'd been with the last two videos, she felt elated later to view another one. Maybe it was because she'd had so much fun mocking the previous ones. But they are fixing your mind. She didn't bother even thinking about a pen or paper. She knew these videos were all but worthless, but it was kind of fun, like watching a schlocky B-movie. There was a kind of goofy charm to the clunky 90s aesthetic in it. She began lesson 3. The video opened much as the last two did, and she immediately found herself playing her game again. She repeated the words the video said in the flattest and most monotone voice she could. She wondered briefly if she could make a drinking game out of it instead, but quickly decided against it. Now that's unprofessional, even if no one watches you. She couldn't drink on the job, and she'd probably end up with alcohol poisoning within minutes anyway. Slave, Arnie, submit. The annoying flickers were still there, but the pounding headache didn't seem to come with it. Her head did ache dully, but it was so much easier for her to deal with than before.
A proper counselor is always respectful to her students, co-workers, and superiors. A proper counselor always does what she is told. A proper counselor always obeys. It's disrespectful to disobey.
Rose held back a laugh, continuing the monotone. It was so god-awful.
A proper counselor is always willing to help out her students with romantic problems.
Laugh now, because tomorrow you're gonna be not laughing, not crying, but doing other stuff. The screen switched to two girls making out fiercely in the halls. Are these students? No kissing in the halls. Other students walked by, impassive. She couldn't help it. These cheeky depictions of teenage romance were just too much for her. Can you stop giggling like that? She started giggling helplessly between repeating the words on the screen. Did she lock the door? She glanced away from the video for a second to her door, pausing it long enough to go and lock it. The windows were closed and the blinds were drawn. I'm sorry, Rose, what are you going to do? No one could see inside. She resumed the video. A mad thought flickered through her mind.
Proper counselor shows her respect with her body language.
Okay, now there's the part that Okay, guys, bye. She absent-mindedly repeated the words as one hand slid under her shirt. Now is the part that I can read to you, This is what Rose had always wanted. Amy checking her out proved it. This is what she'd never ever have. Mocking while watching her video seemed like the best possible way to get back at her.
Proper counselor's body language should always be sexy.
That's right.
A proper counselor's body language should always be sexy.
That's right. Rose laughed. Of course her body language was always sexy. She didn't need to change a thing, but she already changed a lot. Amy was never going to feel this. She never going to have this. The thought made Rose glow. I think you like Amy more than you want to admit. She felt so superior to her.
Sexy counselor should always show off her body.
Not to students though.
A sexy counselor should always show off her body.
You need to chill now a bit, okay? Vocally, she droned the words, but decided she wanted to shout. Do you feel way better now? Because I know that you were feeling hot. It would drive Amy crazy if she knew, and probably I would get fired. If she wanted to show off her body and beat the sexy counselor, she was fine. Amy would never get to see it. Somehow sitting like this in her office at work seemed to ignite a flame in her. Every limb felt hot, tingly and heavy. She felt the butterflies in her stomach. I don't see any butterflies in her stomach. She was powerfully aroused. The feeling pulsed through her body like a rhythm that matched to her every heartbeat. Okay, this scene doesn't match with the other one, because in the other one she was not doing anything. At least we didn't forget to lock the door. Her mind was in the clouds and she could barely breathe. So do I, honestly. I don't know what to say anymore. Suddenly she could feel the pressure building up in her, the heat intensifying until all thought evaporated. You don't need to think anymore. What is this shot? I don't need to see this. Acting only on instinct, she shouted as loudly as she could. Uh-oh.
Look at me, Amy.
I wouldn't look at you if I was Amy. The sensation became overwhelming, incredible. She felt the waves of pleasure hit her body and wash away her mind before the two merged into one all-encompassing sensation. All she could think, all she could feel was a seemingly unending surge of indescribable pleasure. Just say something to Amy, mate. What do you want from me now? Finally, the sensation slowly faded as she sagged back into her chair.
I showed you, Amy. I showed you. You'll never have me.
Now, I think that's a BS. I think you really want Amy. Okay, day 4. Okay. I'm the one being brainwashed now. Rose entered the teacher's lounge, responding to the email Amy had sent. She didn't typically spend much time in here. She wasn't even a teacher after all. She also didn't care much about socializing with the various professionals working here, but lately she'd felt like coming into the lounge more often. The strange fall heat had only increased, so she'd bought new clothes to suit the weather. They look exactly like the clothes that we've been wearing till now. It seemed like she was wearing less and less these days, but that was true of everyone. It's getting hot here. Honestly, it's getting rainy every day. If anything, the teachers look to be following her example. Some even had skirts shorter than hers. Oh!
Probably just trying to show off their bodies. Completely unprofessional.
You're not right. You wish you wear even shorter skirts than them. Absent-mindedly, she thumbed open the buttons on her top. Again? She suddenly recognized Amy's voice and thought she was in the room for a moment before realizing it was just a TV. So, every teacher in this school or whatever counselors and stuff are getting brainwashed by these videos? I wonder what's the climax of this story then. Rose noted with amusement that most of the teachers had also taken up her habit of mocking the stupid things Amy said in her videos. Even from here, she could hear the chant as they all repeated the words in a dull monotone.
A teacher should always be wet and horny for her superiors. A teacher should always show off her body to her superiors.
I'm sorry, at this point someone should call the police. This is not normal. The teachers repeated each word in almost uncanny unison.
Odd. What was that I heard?
What was that you word?
A teacher should always show off her body to her students.
No. Just no.
That video keeps referring to the teachers as only being female. What an oddly sexist assumption in this day and age.
Maybe because Amy only likes the female part of the genders, you know? Rose looked around the room. Actually, she didn't see any male educators here at all. There were a bunch of female teachers and professors. What do you mean with this last sentence? All of them were watching the screen with the same rapt attention, all speaking in the same dull monotone.
Are they all fresh out of college? Did the male professors all retire or something?
And all school female teachers. The perfect brainwashing, right? Amy walked in, taking long strides and almost sashaying through the room with confident grace. Rose felt a little giddy. Why hadn't she ever noticed how beautiful Amy was?
Hello, Rose. It's so nice to see you here. You're usually just hiding in your office.
Amy stepped close, too close. Rose's head started to spin and she felt her heart pound.
Oh, I'm feeling a bit more sociable these days. Besides, you did ask me to be here. How could I refuse an invitation from the vice president? You are my superior after all.
Well, should I say that we shouldn't trust Amy now?
Of course. I just felt it was important that you bond with the teachers. Why not watch the rest of this video with them?
But it's talking about teachers, not counselors.
It'll be the most important learning experience.
Amy laughed coldly, in a way that was oddly bleak. Still, Rose found that she had the most intoxicating laugh.
Oh, come on, Amy. I'm not a teacher. I'm a counselor. I mean, just listen to them.
Exactly my point. You cannot brainwash me with videos for teachers if I'm not a teacher.
A teacher should keep her legs spread. A teacher should show off her panties.
Where do I work? What school is this? What happened with the sausage boy? Amy laughed and stepped in closer, her face only inches away from Rose's.
Oh, don't be absurd, Rose. The other teachers really like you. They'd love for you to join.
Rose's heart pounded harder. Amy was so beautiful up close.
Wouldn't you love her joining you girls?
Just say no.
A teacher should always cooperate with her co-workers.
And I should always obey to my superior, right? They spoke as one, voices in perfect sync. Rose felt so supported.
Oh, I hate to say it, but those videos are so boring. I don't like them too much.
But they're making their job.
Come on now, Rose.
The woman leaned even closer until their lips almost touched.
It would only be respectful.
And now I have to obey her. Rose stiffened suddenly. Was that awful bitch insinuating she wasn't being respectful to her co-workers? The nerve! Rose pushed Amy back roughly and saw her stumble. Startled, she hadn't expected Rose to react that way at all.
Fine, I'll watch your stupid video. But after that, I'm going back to work. There's still things to do.
We haven't been doing a lot of work, have we? Rose felt much of her interest in Amy fade in an instant. She was so prepared to give her the finger, but instead turned and walked away. She approached one of the couches, frowning. Oh my god, what happened? Amy, no! That's an essay! Don't do it! Before she could take a seat, she felt a hard smack on her behind.
See you Monday, Rose. Oh, and forget that stupid drug thing.
What drug thing?
It's a waste of time and won't matter soon anyway.
That.
Oh my, that changed really fast. Rose started to speak, full of furious indignation. She found herself swallowing her words and sitting instead. She started repeating in unison with the teachers, doing her best to calm her anger. Yes, Amy was someone she couldn't stand and she had grabbed her behind. It was clearly essay. Then again, she had been trying to show off more lately. Just report it to the police or just report it to someone. She'd been getting positive reactions from most of the faculty and students about her body recently. You shouldn't get compliments about your body from the students. Just saying. Especially the nice ass ones. She sent the students making those remarks to detention, but she was still flattered. No matter how good it felt or how tired she was lately, it was still a potential way to get rid of Amy. Essay with witnesses was something, but she also knew good teachers always help out their superiors. That's not helping my superior, because Amy's my superior. If I'm going to send her to jail, that's not helping her, is it? Watching them look at the screen and chant mindlessly, she couldn't help but think they'd just be more cooperative with Amy than she was. She didn't have evidence recorded on camera or anything. It'd be her word against theirs. It didn't help that she hadn't even associated with her co-workers before today. Rather than make a big deal out of it, Rose decided it was best to put it behind her. Literally.
A teacher should always show off her ass.
Not really, but okay. As her voice synced up with the teachers, her concerns faded with each repetition. Soon her clothes were on the floor, and I got cursed. Okay, alright, what are you doing there? Everyone is doing it. Every teacher is doing that. At least I'm sitting on the couch now.
The changes are good. The changes are right.
There certainly were a lot of changes lately. She and the other teachers had begun to wear and say so much less. The students had their own videos now. Rose shivered with pleasure as she thought about how they would have the opportunity to learn vital etiquette now, too. Wait, the students also have these videos? Wait again, are all the students female as well? The more she praised the words, the more she realized how lucky they were.
Teachers should always be wet and horny.
No, again? Okay. She'd always thought they were boring, but surrounded by her peers and in tune with the teaching, she had to admit something.
I love these videos. The lessons are good. The lessons are right.
Brainwashing completed then. Guys, day 5? Oh my god, how you dressed now, Rose? Don't go dressed like that to school. But guys, we're gonna say here, let's put some clothes on Rose. Probably she's not gonna listen to me. If you guys want to see where the kissing therapy is going, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, support me on Patreon to see everything that happened in this video censored, and it's each other on whatever thing I do next. Stay good guys, and be careful with videos that might brainwash you into wearing less clothes, I guess. Stay good and bye.